Welcome to ICT Academy Dialogue. Today we have Mr. Ponraj Vellaichamy, an ADS scientist and former technical advisor to Late His Excellency, the 11th President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
What is your perception about the current education system of India?
Current education system of India really needs a transformation.
Okay.
Because when we are poised for making India as a developed nation or making a knowledge superpower, Dr. Kalam has given a Developed India Vision 2020. It's a 20 years vision. For that, we need to develop our human resource.
Okay.
For that, the foundation is education. We are entering into a globalized world. The entire world has become a village.
Yes, sir.
So competitiveness is going to be the key. So competitiveness in the sense, you have to have a quality, you have to have a just-in-time delivery, you have to have a cost effectiveness.
Okay.
The entire world is moving towards competitiveness. The competitiveness is powered by education. So when the world is moving towards the knowledge society, where are we today? That is where most worrying factor when compared to the Indian education system. Today, US and China is fighting among themselves on IPR, among themselves on technology. They are fighting among themselves on market economy, capturing the market. That means the world is fighting on knowledge. The world is fighting to grow on knowledge. Okay, the entire growth depends upon the knowledge generation. Okay, so when the world is moving like that, we need a basic transformation at the primary level, at the elementary level, at the higher education level, and then at the higher education and research level. So from the school education to the higher education and research, we have to have a completely new thinking. It should be dynamic. It should be able to generate the human resource to meet the global competition. Okay, that means complete a thorough, out of the way transformation has to be brought in to the school education to the higher education. That is the level. That means there is a need for a complete total transformation.
So what is the solution that you would like to propose to mitigate this?
See, any nation, the socio-economic development is the vital for national growth.
Okay.
So the main agenda for our nation is to how we can bring inclusive growth based on sustainable development. Okay. So the sustainable development is the agenda for all the resources what we are going to use it. Whether it is a human resource, whether it is a water, energy, environment, industry, or any form of resource, it should be sustainable. So when the world is moving towards sustainable development missions, you have to have a human resource which can work for the sustainable development, to work for achieving the sustainable development tasks. Okay, so how do we bring that education system which can meet the sustainable development mission of the nation? That's the question, right? So our economic policies, the Indian economic policies, have to determine the human resource policy. Okay. So economic policy, what is our economic policy? How we are going to make our nation for the next 20 years, or next 30 years, or next 50 years? How our nation should be? That means you have to have a human resource policy which can match that vision of the economic policy. Okay. So our base of the economic policy, you can't do away with the natural growth. You can't do away with the existing growth when competing with the other nations. Okay. So you have to have a pace of competition with the global economy. So when you have to have a competition with the global economy, then your potential human resource is the one which is going to create that competition. If you are not prepared to develop our education system which can prepare a human resource, which can compete with the global manpower, global resource on the sustainable front, then we failed. Okay? That means it is any nation which doesn't match the global competition will perish. So that is why Dr. Kalam has given 20 years ahead that India should become a developed nation by 2020. To become the developed nation, all the sectors of the economy, that is agriculture, manufacturing, industry and service sector, all these sectors have to grow at the rate of 10% for the next 10 years. Then only we can become a developed nation, or India will become a knowledge superpower. Dr. Kalam has not said India should become a superpower. There is no question of superpower based on the military strength or a defense strength or a electronic warfare strength. Okay, the entire world is fighting on knowledge. So India should become a knowledge superpower. To become a knowledge superpower, you have to build a knowledge society. To build a knowledge society, you have to have a strong education foundation which can match the global vision of India. Okay, it is not only Dr. Kalam has set the vision. It is a national vision accepted by the parliament. It is not the individual Kalam's vision. Okay. It is a national vision. So a government have to have a developmental agenda which every political party should work forward. So we have to completely transform our higher education system. To transform the higher education system, your input should be pakka. That input comes from school education. So that means the basic transformation has to start from the school education.
What could be your suggestion on getting qualitative teachers, and what should be the attributes of best teachers that could inspire students to become future leaders?
See, any nation will flourish based on the vision. The nation will develop based on the vision. Once you have a vision, set a vision for the nation, then immediately the higher education has to be accelerated to work for that vision. That means higher education, unless you create a human resource which can work for that realizing the vision, then you can't achieve the vision. Okay? That means now there is a need, when you compare the entire global, how the global is growing is based on the knowledge economy. The knowledge economy which will propel the national growth. That means you have to have a university system, higher education system, which can work accordingly, which can design the syllabus to meet the national vision, which can autonomously empower the students and able to work based on two parameters, agility and adaptability. Your dynamic system syllabus has to be agile and should be adaptable to the future demand, to the vision. Okay. That means university should be given an autonomous. University has a vision which will compare to the national vision. You have to transform the university selection, VC selection system, which can give the responsibility to the vice chancellor to make the university or institution to work for achieving the vision of the university, right? That means your vision of the university is not only for a state, for India, but your vision of the university should compete with the global universities. That means there is a complete transformation we have to bring in at the appointment of vice chancellor, appointment of the administrative system, which can work for the professors and the students, or empower the professors and students to make them to work for the vision of the nation and vision of the global world. So, instead of creating a centralized control system, you have to create an autonomous higher education system which can compete the global university, global institution and global industry. Then only our education system will flourish. So, that is the need of the hour. Whether state government or central government have to focus on making a higher education system a globally autonomous institution. A higher education system only for research. You have to decouple the education and training from the university. You have to focus only, the university have to focus only on research. If any student enter into university system, he should complete his post-graduation and complete his PhD and come out. If you want to only do PhD, post-graduation alone, then there is no place for you to do it in university. You have to do it in affiliated colleges. So you have to decouple. The education and training has to be decoupled from university and should be given to the affiliated colleges, and university should focus only on research, innovation, and then meeting the vision. Then only our education system will get transformed to become an inclusive growth and ensure human resource development for sustainable growth of the nation. Okay, so it is the need of the hour for the state government and the central government to match the human resource policy to the national development policy.
Students are much distracted today, whether even if parents try to invest time and money on them to get them educated properly. Most people, when they graduate out of schools and colleges, they are seemingly unfit to be even in the society or to have a career ahead. So what could be your suggestion to mitigate this problem?
See, today the students are distracted based on various challenges available in the society, right? We have to have a teacher who inspires the student with the knowledge, with the conduct, with the character, with the higher thinking, creativity, and then vision. You have to have a teacher, whether it is higher education or a school education. A teacher should be selected based on these characteristics. Only those teachers can inspire, empower, and coach the students. The teachers should become the leaders. A leader should have a vision. Leader should have a passion for converting the vision into mission. A leader should know how to practice transparency in each and every action. A leader should have a courage in taking decision. A leader should work with integrity and succeed with integrity. A leader should defeat the problem and succeed. A leader should know how to manage the success and failure. Okay? So all these kind of characteristics for a leader is applicable to the teacher. Only then they can guide the students. Destroy the distractions in the minds of the students. Right? If a teacher is not able to inspire the student by his academic capability, by his professional capability, by his personal characteristics, okay, and then leadership quality, then you can't inspire the students. You can't make the students you can't attract the students from the distraction and make them to work for the mission. Right? This is the part of the teachers and the institutions. But at the same time, the government also inspire. Government also have to inspire with the policies, inspire with the sustainable development policies, inspire with the inclusive growth policies, and inspire with the economic policies which will be able to attract the students. So these two have to be balanced. Then only you can attract the students from the distraction. So distraction today in the form of cinema, in the form of music, in the form of dosmas, in the form of musically, in the form of TikTok. So there are many distractions. Why there is a distraction? Because any weaker mind enter into distraction to hide their weakness. See, who is getting distracted? Any weak mind is getting distracted. A strong mind with vision will never get distracted. A weak mind without vision will get distracted to hide their weakness. Okay? So who is capitalizing it? Media is capitalizing it. Social media is capitalizing it for distraction. Using the social media for spreading the knowledge is different. But using the social media to enter or to submerge into the weakness is the weak mind of the student. So if you look at those who are distracted by these kind of distraction are having weak mind. So what is the purpose of the teacher? The purpose of the teacher, the aim of the teacher, the vision of the teacher is to understand, unearth the hidden potential of each individual. Then you have to tell them, this guy, you have a great potential in these areas. Okay? Concentrate and excel, and you will certainly excel in these areas. If you do not know how to identify the inherent potential of each student, then the vision of the teacher fails. Right? So, we as a parent as well as the teacher, the great asset, the great confidence comes the kind of how you fine-tune raw material. Raw material is available to you. Unless you fine-tune it, you can't use it for the purpose of the nation. So, it is the responsibility of the teacher as well as the parents to identify and unearth the inherent potential of each individuals, and to empower them and coach them rather than scolding them. There is no point in secluding them. But if you understand the inherent potential of the student and then build the strength over on top of it, then certainly they will excel in whatever the field they choose. That is the power of teacher, which can destroy the destruction. Okay, that should be the goal.
So when you have been talking about the government policies on one hand should be attractive, and the other hand students should be open to any kind of change, or they should be agile to adapt to any kind of thing as well as the syllabus. So is there any responsibility of the teacher to get themselves exposed to what kind of policy changes are happening in the government, and should they take it to the students inside the classroom and make them aware on those? So what should be the role of teacher in this?
What most teachers can do? At least get upgraded, understand and study what is happening across the world, how the world is moving to us. At least spend 25% of students, professors' time to empower the students. Today, only 10% of the students is seeking the knowledge, is going after the knowledge. The rest of them have to be fed. See, the ultimate objective of the education is to empower the student to discover the knowledge. Today, what is happening? You have to feed the knowledge. The feeding the knowledge itself, you have to inspire and you have to become a feeder. If you are becoming one among the equal of the student, if you downgrade to the level of the student, okay, you have to interact with them. But at the same time, you have to command self-respect. You have to command self-respect. How do you command self-respect? Based on your knowledge, based on your knowledge upgradation, based on your creativity, based on your problem-solving skills. That is to be imbibed by the teachers, right? So, the thing is, the 25% of the time have to be allocated to empower them and to expose them and to help them to discover the knowledge on a right direction. Once you are able to empower the student to discover the knowledge and make them addicted to the knowledge, then automatically they will become empowered. If there is a gap, and that has to be filled by the teachers.
What kind of challenges our country is currently facing in the fields like innovation and other things, and how we should prepare our students to meet Indian challenges and then the global challenges?
See, today the entire world is facing challenges on water, energy, environment, and then agriculture, and then see, these are the major challenges we have, and these challenges are applicable to India as well as any other developing country also. And health, right? We have to work for these challenges. Our higher education system and research have to tune themselves to create innovation, leading to intellectual property, leading to patents, leading to systems and products, and then commercialization. Okay? So, if you, today our education, research and the system, one side we have to work for basic science, then you have to work for technology development, then you have to work for innovation. Okay? So, if you take water is safe drinking water is a major challenge. Okay? How to harness the water, how to save the water, how to harvest the water. See, you look at the entire nature, 2/3 is the water, 1/3 is the land. The entire water is getting evaporated. See, 38,000 TDS seawater is becoming less than 200 TDS just because of natural cycle. Any technology can mimic? No. See, this is the challenge. If you are able to mimic the nature, then we solve the entire safe drinking water mission. Okay? Millions of tons of water, TMC of water, nearly around 1,500 billion cubic meter of water, flood water has been drained into the sea every year. And we have the storage capacity 154 BCM only. That means 10 times of the water, flood water goes to sea. But you see how much we are investing on RO. Each individual house we have RO machine, 1,500 rupees we are investing. Village we are installing a RO machine. Lakhs of rupees has been spent for that. Seawater desalination, how much money we are spending for that? See, this is a huge challenge. So, our engineering education, our arts and science education have to work for addressing this challenge. Okay, there are many innovation. You look for the irrigation, proper irrigation system, innovative irrigation structure we have to create. Today, we do not have a structure. What our forefathers more than 200, 300 years, 600 years back, what they have created, the complete irrigation system has been collapsed. 60% of the rainwater is falling in the seeds directly. Only 40% we are getting in the form of the rivers, in the form of the storage. So, irrigation management, river water, interlinking of rivers through smart waterways grid is a major challenge. If government undertake the smart waterways grid, then the entire India will have 3 crops per year. We'll have a drinking water, proper drinking water. Everything can be achieved. All the disciplines, engineering, all the disciplines, arts and science, students will get a value-added employment. Will get it. So students, that means university system have to work for innovation and research and work with industry. The many leaders have told, Dr. Kalam has created a reach which can bring industry, academic institution and scientific organization, collaborative research program called REACH. Okay, so there are many initiatives been taken, but logical conclusion have to be sustained. The policy have to be sustained to achieve the result. Environment today is a natural hazard. Air pollution, water pollution, environment pollution, right? Then land pollution. All the pollution today in Tamil Nadu, if you look at it, 189 highly red alert industries are functioning today. What is the steps you have taken? What institutions are working for that? To convert high red industry to orange industry to green industry to white industry. What is the process of transformation we are bringing in? There is a challenge. When there is a challenge, there is an opportunity for research. There is an opportunity for innovative products. Why we have to wait for import? Right? Water we have seen, environment we have seen. Then energy. Energy is a great challenge. Solar energy, harvesting solar energy. Today, the normal solar radiation, even though we are getting 12 hours of sun, we are able to harness only 8 hours of radiation. Okay? But how do we harness 24/7 solar radiation? That is where Dr. Kalam has given solar powered vision, energy independence vision 2030. So with that, if you are able to create, harness the solar energy by launching the solar powered satellite and solar mirror satellite, these two kind of satellites, one is on the geosynchronous orbit, another one is on the low earth orbit, then you are able to harness 24/7 the solar energy. I had a fortune to work with Dr. Kalam along with Air Commander Gopal Swami and Major Swaminathan and myself. We evolved the Energy Independence Vision 2030. And that vision will succeed. We can launch the 10 tons of satellite. Today, India has the capability to launch only 4 tons of satellite payload. We have to graduate to launching the 10 tons of satellite payload with the GSLV. Then we are able to put the solar satellite in the orbit, in the geosynchronous orbit, then harness the energy. To harness the energy, how do we transmit the energy? Solar energy. You have to do the need-to-know particle research. You have to do research on laser wave, microwave, ultraviolet waves. How do we transfer the solar energy packet generated at the 36,000 kilometer top? And then how do we bring it to the terrestrial? And how do we redistribute? It's a great challenge. So, Dr. Kalam has given all the challenges. Not only challenges alone, but he has given what is the approach, what is the vision to accomplish, what are the research challenges, what are the innovation challenges. So, we have to have the system, the education system to work with industry to address these challenges. Then we will, instead of publishing PhD and research papers, we will publish IPA. Growth of the country is determined based on the intellectual property which generates. Today, the first exporting nation is China. India's export order is 117. How we can export? Because if you are able to produce your own products based out of your own IP generated, then you can export it to the world. Then once you export your products and systems and technology to the world, then what will happen? You can get the foreign exchange.
Yes.
Once you are able to have more foreign exchange, then your import of oil bill reduces, right? Then your rupee value stabilizes. Then rupee value appreciates higher. Then your potential, the value of the country potential is increasing. So you see that where does it falls everything? It falls at the level of the education system. So education system have to be empowered to mitigate all these challenges and then finally bring the wealth to the nation. That is where the gap, that is where the challenges have to be addressed. So we can list any innumerable challenges on rural innovations, industrial innovations, industrial automation, industrial Internet of Things, and making our industry transforming to adopting the industrial X.0, right? World is moving towards 4.0 to 5.0.
Yes.
So our university systems should forecast all those things and be able to adapt and then occur. We have to bring heavy industries. We have to bring clean green industries. We have to innovate our own machines, technologies for making our agriculture growth, for making agriculture food process sector to sustain. So agriculture sector, there is an innovation challenge. Water, there is an innovation challenge. Energy, innovation challenge. Environment, innovation challenge. Health, innovation challenge. Biomedical research, there is an innovation challenge. Entire biomedical, whatever biomedical instruments are used in the hospitals today in India are all imported. You have to invest huge money on these machine tools. Industry is moving towards 3D printing technology. Industry is moving towards the smart manufacturing. So we have to empower our education system. We have to make our individual colleges the core competence. See, you look at a colleges in and around Sivakasi can work on the core competence based on the firecrackers, based on the printing technology, based on the matchbox. All this area, nano science and technology, nano composites, nano materials, and then converting that into the manufacturing systems and tools and products. So identify. Engineering colleges in and around the Coimbatore, there is a different mission. The colleges in and around Chennai and Chengalpattu, automotive, there is a different mission. And aerospace. So aerospace is a huge opportunity. There is a launching the solar space mission, or creating the civilian aircraft, or technology for aeronautics. A huge opportunity. But government, institution, industry have to work together in symphony. When these three things together working together symphony are evolving a policy which can match that requirement, then only the students, whatever they study, whether arts, science, engineering or medical, whatever the humanities, whatever they take, they will get absorbed. They will get empowered. This is what the need of the hour. Institution have to work for it. You can't wait the government will come and do it, but you make the institution globally competitive. If engineering colleges join together and make the institution globally competitive, nobody is going to stop it. See, IIM, Indian Institute of Management, is just a society. It's a diploma kind of a thing. It cannot give a degree. It is only giving PG diploma. But how it has become a globally branded institution? You may be an engineering college working under Anna University, but unless you have the vision to make your institution or make the group of institutions work for a particular mission, and that will empower and give a brand to the institution which will create a global demand, then automatically your institution becomes higher than the university, right? So that kind of a vision has to come to the engineering institutions and then universities. You can't wait for a policy to respond. The world is moving fast. Apart from meeting the standard criteria, academic criteria, an engineering institution today, they are not getting admissions. So how do we reorient yourself? You have to reorient yourself to meet the challenges of India, then meet the challenges of the developing nations and meet the challenges of the developed world. So it is a necessity today for every engineering college to rebrand themselves with innovation, research to meeting the national challenges.
We have been having a lot of valuable inputs from you so far. And one last question, sir. So, what are the books that you would compel the youth to read?
See, reading books is essential for anyone to empower them with knowledge. So, if you do not empower yourself with knowledge, then you are stagnant. See, our mental age and our academic age, okay, academy stops at some point of time, but your reading habit will enhance your mental age, will enhance your knowledge, it will make you to think in a higher pedestal of global view. That comes only from reading, the reading books. Okay, Dr. Kalam is the voracious reader. He never watches TV, he never watches any cinema, but he reads.
Okay.
He reads books, he reads papers, and he listens to radio. I used to ask him, why you never watch TV and cinema? Because that wastes my own time. What I need is information, but what I have to gain is a knowledge. The difference between information and the knowledge. I can understand what is happening, but to give a solution to the issues which are happening in and around me or in the nation, I need a knowledge. So knowledge comes out of Arasi's reading. So he used to always tell that to develop a character, to develop a human being, none other than Tirukkural will develop you. Not only builds your character, not only makes you to choose the righteous path, whether your career or your family or your responsibility towards nation. Tirukkural is the one guiding force, not only for you but for the entire world. So Tirukkural is the guiding force for Dr. Kalam. Then the other book what he quite frequently reads, he is having a very old book. I used to go and sometimes pick up the book. He used to ask me to get the book, but when I get the book, it is a very old book. Many pages are been pasted with cellophane tapes. Okay. It's 50 years he is having the book Light from Many Lamps, which is written by many authors, which is the guiding force for him when there is a victory, when there is a failure, when there is a sadness, when there is a happiness. Whatever may be that, he reads the book Light from Many Lamps. Then he used to read The Man, the Unknown, Alexis Carrel, which will bring her mind, body and spirit together, right? Then the many books what he reads, he used to refer it. He updates himself with technology books. He updates himself with books which will give you the confidence. He updates himself with the books which will shape your vision. Dr. Kalam used to say, each and every home, you have to have a library, small library. So that library is the asset which we are leaving behind to our future generation, our children. Okay? So it is not only the books what you have it in your cupboard, no, but you should develop the habit of reading the book. Read one book at a time. And not only read the book, but note down the points. Then implement in your life. Right? See, you look at Dr. Kalam's life itself. When his teacher taught how a bats fly at the age of 10, when he was doing 5th standard, everybody understood how a bats fly. But only Dr. Kalam has the vision that I want to fly. Right? Those who understood, those who studied, those who learned that how a bats fly has not become a great fellows. But those who observe, to set as a vision, then only can fly.
Okay.
Right? So it is a question of each and every home. That is what myself, I am leading the mission through Abdul Kalam Vision India movement, building the Kalam home libraries across the country, across the state. So far we have created 1,500 Kalam home library to the government school children's.
Great.
Various organizations we bring together everybody, and then we are sponsoring the Kalam home library.
Okay.
And also creating a contest for them to read and then appear for the contest to make them a reading habit. So reading habit, voracious reading, okay, and that will give them the confidence and then achieve great heights in their vision. So reading is a part of a vision, and reading helps to propel your vision to achieve greater heights. So read good books. Tamil, we have great books. We have Naladiyar, okay? We have Nannari, we have Avayar Atichudi, okay? How many great books which will propel our culture, propel our civilizational heritage, and that only will make you great. You have to be yourself. You have to set your goal right. For that, books are the basic friends which will come along with you in your difficult times. You have great friends. You have many friends which can share the joy and happiness. But books is the one which will be the guiding force and your friend in difficult times. So choose books as your good friend, best friend and first friend.
Great, sir. Great. So it reminds me of one couplet that I wrote some years back. Be in good books with good books. Your answer reminds me of that couplet that I wrote long back. Thank you for your time and information, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today we listened to the words of a visionary mentored by a visionary. ICT Academy Dialogue solicits leaders, visionaries, entrepreneurs, achievers and the like to its sets. If you are the one, please mail us at editor@ictacademy.in. Stay tuned with us 4 p.m. every Friday. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter and Facebook. Thank you.